The NFL playoffs are here, and this matchup on Wild Card Weekend is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Cowboys and the Niners coming up next.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, the NFL playoffs, as we're underway on EA Sports.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Now we'll see what the right arm of Dak Prescott has in store as the Dallas Cowboys offense sets up shop.
And he comes into this wild card round off of a really good regular season, better than 30 touchdown passes. And he said he feels like he can take some shots against his secondary. In fact, in our meeting, he said not only can he take shots, he expects to do it early.
Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
Elliott going to get it again on 2nd down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And it was a stiff arm there that freed him enough to get the first before he's tackled. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
It was Maurice Hurst who got him down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And his throw is incomplete.
This defense for the Niners, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
Yeah, what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. This is intercepted. Picked off by Quan Alexander. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
And we'll see if that pick 6 looms large as this game continues, because we've seen plays like that alter a lot of playoff contests over the years.
I would agree with that totally. And you often think to yourself, why do they alter it so much? Because after games, don't we hear coaches and players say, well, one play doesn't usually determine the outcome? But I don't think that's really true, do you? Because there's times when we see plays like that, and all of a sudden the momentum jumps to that team side, it deflates the other side, and they never pick it back up. And then things really go from there, don't they?
That's the thing for me. We talk about momentum changes. A play like that is the ultimate momentum change. Dak and the Cowboys ready for their next possession. And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick 6 for the first points of the ballgame.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick 6, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Isaac Yiadom in there to pick it. And into the end zone. A pick 6 for the 49er D as they score the touchdown.
Now this defense looking like they have come to play the pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visit. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
Extra point by Butker is on target.
And it's now 14-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Dallas offense set for this next drive.
And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
solid running there. And, CD, we hear so much about what it takes to win in the playoffs. Most people like to include having a strong running game in their assessment. And with this man in the backfield, this group has a strong running game without a doubt.
Oh, I absolutely agree with you there, because in terms of yardage, he's a top 5 running back in the league. And in terms of impact on a game, not many better than him. And when they're flowing and he's carrying the ball consistently, they're tough to beat.
On second down, it's Elliott. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped him. Mucked that down for a win in the defense's column.
Prescott now from the 50. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. So out comes the offense now with a long field ahead of them. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll be led out by the former number 3 overall pick back in 2021. It's Trey Lance. And some room to run now. And he's going to be up around the 45-yard line. A big play there out of the running game.
All right, I've got to be careful here. All right, he's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
When he's saying I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And they get 17 more on that one and another first down. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Faking the give to Mostert. Now Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
On 2nd and 7, Lance. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. Down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to...
And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Raheem Mostert, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. Extra point by Butker is on target, and that makes the score 21-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it was capped off by a touchdown run from Raheem Mostert. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dallas offense back out onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
From the 25 on second down, Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, that's something that this defense is not going to be able to allow if they're going to have success here. They wrap up and get guys on the ground. They end up letting him get away, and it turns into a big early on. I can just see veteran observers of the game shaking their heads and talking about the dearth of tackling in the game today.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Meanwhile, Dak's throw pulled in by Lamb. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10.
Let's go. Let's do this.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact, and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And that's incomplete. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Oh, hit as he throws there. Incomplete.
That was not a real confident throw right there, and he's just 2 of 7 to start the game. Now he's going to have to find a groove with a big 3rd down coming up. Let's see if his confidence can increase.
Prescott yet again. And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Oh, no doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line.
That play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout. And that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
63 yards rushing for him in this first half as he has certainly carried over his regular season success into the playoffs.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Off of play action, and here's Lance. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's way down into Dallas territory inside the Cowboy 15. A big play there for the Niners.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
2nd and 10. To throw, it's Lance. Buying time to his left, and he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Trey Lance, a 13-yard touchdown run. And the 49ers continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point by Butker is on target, and it is 28-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And it was Trey Lance taking it in himself to cap the drive with a touchdown run. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Zeke and the Cowboys ready to begin their next drive. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Throw left side complete. That's Elliott. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
A first down carry by Elliott. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. He'll go underneath here to Elliott. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That'll give him 8 that time, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. And this one incomplete. And another throw that really could have been, maybe should have been intercepted. That would have been number 4. Instead, it's 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this will be out of bounds, and they spot it at the 15-yard line. Not too bad. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they had to go the length of the field last time out to get into the end zone. And with this starting field position, they're going to have to pretty much do it again.
And I think the thought process going into it is, hey, if you have to be methodical, go ahead and do that. But what you really want are a couple of big plays. Eat up chunks of yardage and cut down the number of times you have to snap the football.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. Mike McGlinchey, the Notre Dame man, guilty on that one. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And Lance now to throw. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here. Here's Lance. And he whips that one incomplete there.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
An incomplete pass on second down leads us to 3rd and inches. Again, it's Lance. And that will be incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Wisnowski on to punt as he sends this one away. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the second quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. What if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone?
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so because the run has been very effective for them.
Final play of the half. Prescott looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. So we come upon halftime. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one as he's tackled at the 15. The 49er offense set to go to begin quarter number 3. And they've been the better of the two teams through 2 quarters of play, much to the chagrin of this home crowd.
Yeah, this score is a surprise to a lot of folks.
There he goes, left side. The 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Raheem Mostert, 85 yards. And the Niners are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, Raheem Mostert, we know the story, from special teamer to postseason hero. All he needs is a little bit of space, CD, and he can do the rest.
And that's a second touchdown run of this game, and this one, and a high degree of difficulty to it as well. I'm absolutely marveling at how effortless he makes this look. I mean, let's face it, he had a long way to go. But how about the vision, the creativity with the football in his hands? It's really something to watch.
And he covered a lot of ground on that one, as evidenced by the final total there on Next Gen Stats. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And able to get this out to the 25. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is, just what you said, you've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. First down run with Elliott, going to go for about 4. 2nd and 6 coming up.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Prescott with a throw caught by Lamb. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They should have gotten more out of that, though. He was wide open.
I love how emphatic you are with that call because that's exactly what I was thinking. Wide open in the flat. Give him a ball that he can use to get upfield with, not just catch and go over the sideline. They cost themselves some yardage there.
They pushed forward, but I don't think it's enough. He's going to be about a yard short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. The Niners set to take over on offense. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, right? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second-half blowout material. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Now they'll run the option to the short side left. He'll be taken down well behind the line, and I think he might have just given those 4 yards right back. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
He'll get this into the hands of Ayuk. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And for an offense that is struggling, this is you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
On 1st down, nothing opening up really on the running play. Give him maybe a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. That's going to set him back 5 yards. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They go to Elliott again. A nice little juke. 91 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
That'll be a 44-yard boot, just a yard on the return as he's covered up quickly. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. On play action, Lance. That ball caught, Brandon Ayuk. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Now they'll run the option to the short side left, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't hurt too well.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
Got a man, that's Ayuk.
And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out.
A lot of deflated looks on that defense. It seems like they just cannot find a way to get a key stop on 3rd down. Here's another conversion, and now this offense, they're in a position to go up even further as they've got it 1st and goal.
And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line, because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
Stops short, down at the 1. And a broken tackle, but couldn't get it all the way home. Back now here in Santa Clara. 1 quarter remains in this NFC Wild Card matchup. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And across the chalk, into the end zone, it's a 49er touchdown. Trey Lance, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Niners have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Butker on for the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it was Trey Lance taking it in himself to cap the drive with a touchdown run.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field.
And they are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far. And they are, to be frank, in desperation mode now as they begin with a 1st and 10. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Isaac Yedden picks it. And the 49ers are going to take possession here at their own 33.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for it.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go.
On 1st down, they go with Mostert again.
And some room to maneuver. And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30.
Wow, 204 yards rushing for him now as he has been a central figure in trying to get his guys to the 2nd round.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Every great running backs coach I've talked to. vision. You're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, they've had success on the ground on this drive, and that makes the defense more likely to overcommit to stop the run as they did on that play. But keep in mind, it makes them susceptible to play-action passes as well.
On 2nd down, another shot for Sermon. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Sermon. Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. It'll be called a gain. And that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Is this a touchdown? That's the question. CD, what are they looking for here? So the decision to challenge does not pan out, and that's also going to cost him a timeout. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And at this point, maybe you say, you know, it was a good effort really just to make the playoffs. They couldn't win their division, but did earn a wild card berth. It does appear, however, that their season is just a few minutes away from ending in one-and-done fashion. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling.
Oh, Prescott stripped. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Sermon now on 1st and 10. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he'll take it to the end zone. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. That's on the guard, Laken Tomlinson. Lance, a give now to Sermon. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. So he fought off the tackle, and that effort gives him the first before he's brought down.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to him.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Here's Sermon. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yeah, it's now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And they'll run with Sermon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.